Today, in our continuing effort to highlight local veteran businesses, we are visiting with Mrs. Amelia Young, a.k.a. M-Woman. And Amelia is, she has her own company, her own business, but she does extraordinary things to help people and veterans. Amelia, welcome to the show.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
Just a pleasure to have you. So, Amelia's company name is Sumantra Holistic LLC, and she's into things like energy medicine. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start out. Let's talk a little bit about Amelia. Tell me about you.
Well, I wear many hats. So I would say that the best way to describe me is I am a contemporary Renaissance woman.
Ooh, I like that.
And I am, when I introduce myself and the work that I do, I introduce myself as a U.S. Army veteran and a post-cancer thriver and mentor. And an energy healing minister. So that sums up pretty much what I do.
Gotcha. Now you are a veteran, so you've got a lot going for you. You're a female-owned, veteran-owned business, which is very good, and I compliment you on being both. So the idea that you have this business. But you have a what you call a pro bono side of your business. Now, obviously, you charge people for help to assist in emotional needs and to help them get through certain issues in their lives. On the veteran side, you do the same thing, but you also help people who really are not able to pay, and that's a percentage of your business. And I commend you highly on that. That's a wonderful thing a service that you offer. But with veterans, you help mostly with what?
I help military veterans and dependents who are struggling with the effects of combat PTSD.
PTSD.
Correct.
Yeah, they should call that the dread disease or something. I don't know. It's a tough thing to have, and it has many faces.
It does.
So, but you help people through that.
I do.
Now, one of the big issues with PTSD is suicide.
Yes.
And we're just seeing unbelievable numbers of veterans that have or are contemplating suicide. Yes. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, suicide prevention is actually a very passionate subject for me. The reason being why I got into healing work in the first place. Technically, you could say that was when I was 16, when I prevented my mom's suicide. Oh. And she is alive today, just turned 81 years old, and she's happy, and she is a writer of 4 books, actually.
Wow.
So you see, the pain of depression is temporary, and one can be lifted out of that, but it does take a special sensitivity, and thanks be to God, I have been gifted with that, and I have helped people from taking that final step. Right. So no one has taken that step in my watch.
Wow.
Yes. So
that's incredible.
And right now, being active among in the veteran community, my specialty, which is helping people with complex PTSD, that is trauma that is experienced in childhood and youth, it has actually expanded to helping military veterans in particular and dependents who are suffering from the effects of combat PTSD, because there is an 80% overlap between combat and complex PTSD.
Sure. Yeah. So in a lot of respects, some of these people are going into combat that really way deep down already have some form of it. May not be what they end up with, but it's some form that helps that assists in the manifestation of the
It is a
bad
fertile
PTSD.
ground, so to
Right.
speak. Yeah.
Right. It's amazing. Our medical institutions are still finding out more and more information on PTSD and how it affects people. And I had shared with Emily, the little town I was from. They had so many suicides from the Second World War, and it was they didn't call it PTSD; they called it shell shock. But a lot of the men were not surprised when somebody would take their lives. They're like, "Well, old George couldn't handle it anymore." You know, it's very complex, though, and it's not a simple thing.
It is not. Yeah.
And PTSD also affects families,
It does.
spouses especially,
Absolutely.
and we see suicide rates of spouses. So it is a dread disease that we really have to work on, and I thank you for what you do on that. So let's just talk for a little bit about energy management. So that's something you specialize in?
It is.
So what is energy management?
Basically, first of all, you have to understand that there is such a thing as the energy field. And what it is a biofield or an electromagnetic field that emanates from your physical body that encompasses your space, actually, the space that you occupy. And in reality, the mind is not localized in the brain like a lot of people think. It is actually in the energy field. And the energy field relates to the emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of a human being. And that's exactly where the roots are that develop further into physical manifestations of diseases like cancer.
Right, right. Now, you are a cancer survivor.
I am.
You are. And you've gone through the trauma of cancer
I did.
and the post-trauma.
Yes.
So let's visit that for a second.
Well, the thing is, for me, when I was treated for cancer, and cancer treatment, cancer protocol does not take a short time. It is a long, drawn-out process that is at least 2 years long, and there are many different stages to that treatment. So when I was going through it, it was such a roller coaster ride that I did not have time to really think about what was happening.
Right.
So, but then and I was surrounded, of course, by doctors and nurses who took care of me, and friends, strangers, and all kinds of people supported me by dropping off food at my house, giving me rides here and there, and just giving me a lot of love and emotional support. But then after all of that, then I was pronounced cancer-free, all the bells had been rung, and then all that support dropped. But then it was like I was like a soldier returning from war,
Correct.
because my younger daughter actually grew up from being a young child to a preteen, and even though I was present physically, I wasn't really present for her on all those
Right.
other levels. So she
Right.
was a stranger to me. And my husband and children, they didn't have anybody taking care of them when I was sick. And so now they wanted me to be mom and wife to them immediately, but I wasn't there. So the mental health fallout really kicked in after the treatments were done. And it was really hard for our family. It was cancer was actually harder for my husband than it was for me, because as a man, you want to fix your wife, and he couldn't
Right.
fix me. You see, so it was really, really hard. So and at that time, even though the cancer community was the most open, I was actually in the process of bringing an integrative energy healing program into the chemo ward where I was a patient. I had a sponsoring physician and my oncologist, but then COVID kicked in, and we lost the momentum. So, but even then, the cancer community still did not have a really good mental health awareness and care program for their patients and dependents of the patients, because cancer does not happen in a vacuum.
That's correct.
So so a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could say a lot about that, but that would be a whole book.
Yeah. So cancer, like PTSD, is complex,
It is.
and you can have cancer, and from that, you can have PTSD
Absolutely.
in some of its
It
manifestations.
is.
So
It is.
this is so interesting because it's this idea that PTSD is only a post veteran or military thing. Children can have PTSD.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wives, husbands, they people have trauma in their lives,
Absolutely.
and that trauma can really create mayhem for not just for the person suffering it, but for the people around them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so it is so important that we, if you think you have PTSD, if you're suffering with depression, or at worst thoughts of suicide, it's important that you seek help. And Emily can help, or as we call her, the M woman. But we touched base a little bit about your pro bono work.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me about that, and how it works, and why you're doing it.
Well, how does it work? Basically, it works like all the other one-on-one healing work that I do, which is basically someone comes and gets a healing assessment, an energy
Sure.
field assessment from me, actually. I can walk them through what is happening in their energy field. And I have a lot of testimonials that can, show how that works. And it's very illuminating to just that in itself. And then what I do with after assessing the energy field of the person is based on the findings on what is presenting. Then we develop a healing plan as to how we can address those concerns. And so it's kind of like paleontology work in that we very slowly just kind of sift through all the things that are covering us, the real us.
Right.
Okay, so that takes a lot of inner work, and then I actually, since I am trained and also I have a natural ability to attune myself to someone's energy field, I'm actually intervening in the field itself, and that helps to clear the energy field and balance the energy centers that are the roadway, the highway system for the energy to flow in the body. So anyway, so that's what I do on a general basis with anyone. I can do it from a distance. I can do it in person. I do it with individuals as well as families as well as groups. But the thing is with the, for example, if someone really wants to work with me and really has issues that they need to work on, and of course I am able to see that,
Right.
then but then money is an issue. It really I'm just not able to just walk away from the person. So I like to remove as many obstacles to their being able to have the healing that they need. And if that obstacle is money, then I do offer my services for free. But what I want in return is commitment, and the people who enter
Right.
my program are people who want to do that inner work. So so money is not an issue for that. And how I pay for that is, well, it's my time, right? So
Right.
that
Right.
that
right.
is how I donate. I guess that is how I give back to the community. Because it just, if you can help one person, you're helping a whole family,
Sure.
right? And
Absolutely.
I mean, there's so much. So it's just what I do. And I try to educate people so that people understand this work and how important it is, so that more people can join me
Right.
in doing this work, and also supporting me in this through my other programs. So yeah.
So let's talk about the other programs. You have two You have 2 volunteer programs. Is that correct?
Well, that's the volunteer work that I'm doing. And as I said, I help military veterans and dependents who are suffering from the effects of combat PTSD. And I also help intuitives, empaths, sensitives, people like me who are suffering from complex PTSD and are undergoing a period of transition where they are moving out of the rut they kind of find themselves in,
Sure.
because they tend to give so much of themselves and get taken advantage of, and then move to a situation where they can be financially independent and stable and flourishing. So I do it through by partnering with with 2 companies, a nonprofit called Impact Health Share, which is an alternative to health insurance. And I could talk a whole lot of things about them, but that might be for another time.
Sure.
And the marketing arm for Impact Health Share is ACN, which is a direct selling company that has been around for 30 years. And they offer a whole range of essential services, including the healthcare alternative, as well as energy, wireless, internet, and other kinds of services. So essentially, bills that people pay. I help people to, if they switch their services to me, for example, then not only will they save money, as I have on for myself as a customer to myself, but they also have the option of joining me as a business partner, like some of my mentees have, so that they can make money helping people save money.
Gotcha.
So
Understood.
that's what I do on the side.
So that's your what do you call them, side gigs,
That's
right?
my side gig, but it's actually has turned out not to be a side gig because I'm actually using that as a healing modality,
Ah,
because business is psychological. And so just working with these people, Impact Health Share and ACN, the people that I have worked with them, I have learned so much about being a better businesswoman. And that's hard when you're a healer
sure,
and
sure,
someone who gives away her healing work for free. It's really hard to be a businesswoman. But
sure.
just being around these people, they really have helped me to be a better
Yeah.
businesswoman. And so from that, I'm helping my healies and mentees who are also my business partners to learn to be better business people. So in effect, it's actually like a healing modality for
Wow.
the psychological effect of business.
So it's the big circle, right?
Yes, it is a big
Yeah, yeah.
circle. Yes.
I help you, you help them,
Exactly,
and they
exactly.
help, and so on and
And
so
that's a
forth.
beautiful way because it's so hard for me to ask for money. If I became a nonprofit, asking for money at this time when people don't have money, it's just so hard for me to do that. So
Sure.
I feel blessed to have this side gig, which is really funding my pro bono work without me burning out. So
Wow.
there you go.
Wow. So how can people help? I mean, do you have things like GoFundMe sites or anything like that? Or
I don't have a GoFundMe site, but I am working on my website called themwoman.com. So that's themwoman.com. And that's going to launch on Veterans Day, 11/11. And on that site, it's a landing page that shows all the things that I do. So beyond my for-profit business, it talks about all the nonprofit work that I do, as well as all the community organizations I'm a part of. I founded a lot of different things like secular inclusive homeschooling group, hybrid business networking and homeschooling group as well, and and Holistic Chamber of Commerce, of which I'm a vice president of the Houston Memorial chapter. So my key thing is I want to get people to reconnect in person or even online, but really right now we
sure.
need a lot of in-person things to happen. And it's for everybody, including the next generation. I work a lot with children and teens as well. So the best way to support me right now would be to go on to the mwoman.com when it launches on 11/11 and see all the things that I do. And also, you could go to my storefront for Impact Health Share and ACN and see how you could support me by switching your essential services, your bills, to where it would benefit my work.
Right.
And also, if you're interested in being a business partner with me, you could register for the Zoom presentations, 30-minute presentations that I offer on a regular basis, that my team and I offer on a regular basis. And you will get to meet some of my mentees and Healies, people who are receiving the free holistic healing that I provide for people.
Beautiful. This is so good. Woman. I like that. So you can reach Emily at 832-477-0407. All right, I'm going to do it one more time. Get your pencil out or your recorder. 832-477-0407. And launching on Veterans Day is her new website, the EM Woman. That's theemwoman.com. You can also email her direct at em@theemwoman.com. And EM, we pronounce it M?
Yes.
But it is EM.
It is.
So, Emily, thank you for coming. We're going to, this will play on Veterans Day. Folks, if you're hearing this was recorded earlier, but consider contacting Emily. If you're having PTSD problems, if you're needing to talk to somebody, if you're looking for help and assistance, Emily can do that. She can help you. She's a good woman, I can tell. And she knows how to handle those types of issues that, and remember, you don't have to be a veteran. A lot of people suffer from PTSD. Give her a call one more time, 832-477-0407. Email her at em@theemwoman.com or visit her website. Starts today, Veterans Day, theemwoman.com. Emily Young, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I wish you the best, and we do appreciate your time in the service and what you provided and all of that. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You're welcome. And that's it till the next one, folks, so stand by.